Good morning, Andrew.
Hi Trish.
You can hear me okay, yeah?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, that's good. That's good. All's going well then this morning. Tell me, how has your week been? I know you were considering going back to work and contacting your manager and a few things on your mind last week. How did
Yeah,
you?
yeah, I did contact her, and actually, I told her that I was kind of suffering from depression, and
Yeah.
we had that sick note until the
Hmm.
20th. Well, she replied, well, she said like, take as much time as you need. Just know that your job is here waiting for you when you're ready. Just
Ah,
I'm reading it out like on the
ah,
second screen because I
yeah.
couldn't remember.
Okay. So a positive email, positive reply.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, if you can say it.
Hmm.
Because I did raise like that thing that I needed help with something, and
Hmm.
she ignored that part. But I guess overall it, it's okay now.
Okay. She ignored the request for help. Yeah.
Yeah, so she ignored that part. But
Okay.
she
Okay.
like the next line is that she says that like there is no pressure with that application that I'm working on, so I don't have to
Okay.
worry about it.
Okay, so how do you feel about the email? How do you feel?
Yeah, I guess like yeah, it was really positive, and I don't really have to worry about missing it.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I didn't really go back, and I don't know when I'll be going now.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. So she hasn't put any pressure on you. In fact,
Yeah,
she's kind of taken it off a little bit, hasn't she? That you
yeah,
don't
she
need to worry
has.
about it. Okay. Okay, so that can you put that aside? Can you put your manager and the project aside for the moment? Do you think, or is it still playing on your mind?
No, I guess I kind of have to put it aside for a while,
Yeah,
just deal with all the other things.
yeah, yeah. And that would be a good idea. Um,
But
you can take it on face value, I suppose, is what we do, isn't it? Um,
I guess so, so that
hmm,
I can just focus on like restoring my energy and all that.
yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah, that's true.
I think it's actually kind of coming back a little bit. I,
Okay,
so that because I did quite a lot like last week.
yeah,
I
good,
I collected all the documents for social welfare,
excellent.
so
That's
that
that's good.
so I submitted that like
Yeah,
I think on Wednesday, and when I met with a few friends, so that was a good idea. Like we were
yeah,
three of them, so like on 3 separate days, and then one friend actually told me that there is like a board game, kind of game meetup in Kilkenny, and she goes there like every week.
okay.
So I went there with her like last Wednesday, and
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
so I think it was like something
good.
great
Yeah,
because it wasn't like pressuring me, uh, and I didn't really have to say much. It was just like
you just play.
yeah, so
Yeah,
so
okay.
so
So
that
that's excellent.
so that's something for me to
Yeah,
do like on a weekly
yeah,
basis, hopefully.
yeah. Okay, so even if you can concentrate on that part, the just getting out, meeting a few friends, pushing yourself just that little into not quite out of your comfort zone, but just to the edge of it where you're still with friends, you're still with, familiar people, and it's not putting the situation isn't putting too much pressure on you. That's really excellent. That's good work. So well done. That's such a move. If you think back, I know you think you're not. Sometimes when people look at their progression and their recovery, they think it's really slow. But if you look right back to the start and to where you are now,
Yeah,
this it's
there is
a big
like a
step.
big
It's a
difference.
big step, big difference. Um, and keep that inside. Be proud of the fact that you've come this far. And it'll encourage you then. Well, that in a couple of weeks you'll be even further, or let's say a month down the road. Imagine where you'll be. Um, so you're not pushing yourself too fast, but you're still expecting and anticipating the result, that the change down further down the line. So you did really well. Well
Thanks,
done.
Trish. Yeah,
Um,
So it seems
You,
like the antidepressants are actually kind
mm,
of started
yeah.
to
So
kick
you'd be
in
on
a
them
bit.
3 weeks now, would you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so about 3 weeks.
So they should be starting to, this is typically the period where people will say, "Oh, I think there's a difference." Um,
Yeah,
so
because
yeah.
I think there is a little bit
Mhm.
difference. And I passed that inspection, so I had to do like quite a
Ah,
lot of housework. So I did like
okay.
those. So
Okay. So
this,
your landlord's inspection. Yeah.
yeah, it actually only lasted 3 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
So
Okay.
I didn't have to say that much.
Okay. So maybe what can you learn out of the inspection and how you were anticipating that and the dread? And it lasted 3 minutes.
Yeah, so it wasn't that bad.
No, not that bad.
Well, I just did, the bits that I could.
Mhm.
Like, let's say I didn't really move furniture or anything like that.
No, no.
Because it would have been just too much. So I just
Yeah,
did like what I could, just rearrange the things a little bit and
yeah, yeah,
used the carpet sweeper. So it
yeah.
was okay.
And generally, that's all they're looking for is somebody that's keeping the place clean, isn't it? And not abusing it or misusing it or damaging the property. If you're living in a place, they don't expect it to be like a show house. And I think that's half the thing. You think it has to be 100% perfect when they're just looking for it's kept in good order. There's nothing in it that would require repair or, serious work done or repainting or lumps taken out of the furniture or that type of thing. So general untidiness is quite accepted.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, I guess so.
yeah,
And but I learned that it would be easier not to get it to the state where it's too
yeah,
bad.
yeah, that's true. So if you keep it, how often he does the inspection? Every 3, 4 months or
Yeah, something
longer?
like that.
Okay, so if once a week you did a quick going around, it would take you so much less time. So the next time it comes around, I guess there would be very little to be done. Um,
Yes, that's what I was thinking about.
mm-hmm,
And now
yeah,
the grass will start growing soon, so I'll have
yeah.
to cut it as well.
Oh, of course, yeah, it has. But that, I suppose, that's good for you physically. It's good for you mentally. A bit of fresh air. Hopefully, if the sun, I think Ireland is to get pretty cold weather soon, so the grass mightn't grow too soon. But um, to get yourself out and get your vitamin D and a bit of fresh air, even in that, there's a
Yeah,
positive. There's a positive to be taken out of cutting the grass. Um,
yeah, I guess.
yeah, yeah,
So that's a good exercise.
hmm hmm yeah. So overall, what else we had? Your list to the manager, and you're going to reach out to some colleagues, which you don't have to do now because you can push the project out a little bit, is it?
Yeah, that's right.
Mm.
I don't know if you know, like that thing, it's called like social prescribing service. Just something I learned when I visited like a volunteering exhibition.
Okay.
So
Social.
prescribing service, well,
Okay.
it's something like it says on the leaflet that their aim is kind of to reduce loneliness and isolation and community.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
they're supposed to have like different groups, but I don't exactly know what it is about. But I contacted them and
Yeah.
asked for an appointment on the 20th, so I guess I can kind of learn
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
it actually is. It's a bit kind of unclear. Just
Yeah.
to get.
I haven't honestly heard of it. Is it just local to Carlow, do you think, or
Oh no, it's actually like in 30
it's nationwide, is
yeah,
it? All right.
it's in
Okay.
30 counties.
Okay.
Because just yesterday I was googling about it and
Okay.
it's still very unclear.
Yeah. It's worth having a look into, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Nobody's forcing you to do it. So if you decide, well, it's not for you, it's not for you.
But I guess I can find out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's actually a good idea. There's so many people now that are where it used to be, I think we thought that the elderly were the only ones that suffered from loneliness and isolation.
Yeah, that's
And
actually what Lift emphasized.
yeah, but I don't think at all now. It's so much more widespread across the ages, and maybe particularly since people start working at home, and COVID and pre-COVID even, I think that we had started to move to a different way of interacting with people.
Yeah, it's kind of more like
Yeah,
online.
yeah. So there's loneliness affects so many people, and you're definitely not the only client that I would have of your age that would say that the loneliness affects them, and can impact their life negatively. So that's I must look into that myself, because there's other people I could recommend that to. And when are you going? You're going to talk to them on Wednesdays.
No, on the 20th of March. So that's
Ah,
quite,
okay. So it's only the 6th. Okay, so you have another couple of weeks, but not so long.
yeah, not so long.
No. So you sound like you're pushing yourself out there. I know it can be difficult, but that you're pushing.
But I feel so lonely. So,
Yeah.
so I'm kind of a bit worried that I'm still, like monosyllabic and when I don't have that much to contribute, but I do feel quite isolated.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't really have that much to do now. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, and that's true. And I mean, if you're at home recovering, I suppose the worst thing in the world you can do is just to isolate yourself even more. As you said, if you're not talking to anybody in a work situation online, and you're spending all day in front of a computer, then that in itself isn't good for your mental health. So now you've taken that opportunity away. So it is important for you to push yourself and go out and meet and try different things. You're not committing yourself to anything. But it's quite a brave step, isn't it, for you?
yeah, I guess it was.
Yeah,
Just
it is.
complicated. Well, they had a phone number, but I didn't really feel like talking to them. So it's just sent an email.
That's fine. That's okay. So you're off until the
20th.
the 20th of March also.
Yeah. My birthday is next week, like on Tuesday. So that kind of, I always
Okay.
feel pressured about it because you're kind of supposed to have a good time.
Yeah.
And especially since it's only like this type of thing happens once, like every 10 years. So I was thinking of going to Avondale and going down that slide, so that kind of would be symbolic, kind of like getting reborn.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and that's important that you do something to mark it. I think sometimes we expect, not that we expect, or maybe that is a word. Your birthday comes and you think something should happen.
Yeah, but it never actually does.
It never does. And if it doesn't, then it's a sign that there's nobody caring. But realistically, it's not that people don't care. I don't feel it's that. And I think we need to feel that our birthday is special ourselves. Don't we? We need to think that this is our day. It's not everybody else's day. It's your day.
I guess.
Yeah,
right.
and yeah, it is your day, and you reborn is that's, God, it's the simplest way to explain how your life has changed. When you think about it, all the changes you've come through, and the things you've conquered. Do you ever look back and in amazement, or do you just take it in your stride, as they say?
Probably, yeah. Probably I'll just take it in my stride.
You just take it in your stride, and that's typical of everybody's life, isn't it? That when we go through stuff, we either minimize it and say, oh, sure, it was okay. I got through it, didn't I? I'm still alive. I came out the other end. Where people standing outside looking in are in awe of how we've managed to come through such, whether it's, as you said, the beginning of your life, the change in your life, the moving in your life, the struggle you've had since you came over here. Like there's been so many big occasions in your life, and yet you're still only, well, how old are you next birthday?
30.
30. 30, so it is quite a big birthday.
Yeah, that's
30.
what I was thinking about.
Yeah, so it is important to do something. Yeah. Do your friends know it's your birthday?
Yeah, a lot of them know.
They don't know. You don't know. Yeah.
But, well,
And
some of them do.
some of them do. Some of them do. And is there one that a friend that you would, I don't know whether you drink, whether you'd take a bottle of wine to their house and go, okay, it's my 30th birthday, I'm just going to toast it with somebody.
But
Is there somebody you would?
I'm not really supposed to mix antidepressants with alcohol.
Of course. Well, non-alcoholic wine or beer or whatever, or if it's a cup of coffee.
Yeah, it would be great.
Yeah. If it was a cup of coffee that you said, I'll meet me for a cup of coffee. It's my 30th birthday.
I guess I can meet up with each one separately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because
you could.
I don't really feel like doing a party, so it would be easier for me just to
just a
be
quiet.
chill.
Yeah. Were you ever one for parties? No.
Well, I had a few occasions where I just invited a few friends.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it was nice, to a restaurant.
Yeah. And some people just aren't, big, huge crowds. We don't do it. I don't particularly like huge parties either. I prefer just smaller groups, or one-on-one is good. But it is important for you to mark the day that's special to you.
One time I figured out, there was quite an interesting museum, it showed kind of the life of blind people, so I invited my friends there, and we had a few rooms, and it was totally dark, and we had a blind guide, and we kind of explored all the rooms just with our hands.
Wow.
So that was quite an interesting idea, because we had a market, a garden, something like a living room, and then a party, and so we kind of learned a little bit how it would be
life as a blind person. That's really interesting. It's all these marginalized and forgotten lives we assume everybody sees and hears and walks and talks the same way we do. We forget how difficult and how different their life is. Makes you more, I suppose, appreciative of what you have, and also considerate of what they don't. Much more considerate of how other people can struggle with just regular everyday things.
Yeah, just something that I don't really think about.
We don't even think about, I know sometimes you look at people like that and think how brave they are to be able to live in a world like that.
Yeah, because I can't really imagine.
We can't, no, especially sight, to take your sight away. But it's their normal world, isn't it? And they just adjust to it, and they go ahead with it. And they probably wouldn't want us want us, that's wrong. That means there's a them and us, but they wouldn't want seeing people to look at them and think, wow, you're really brave for living in a world without sight. That's not what they want. They just want the same.
To be included.
To be included, should just be the same, yeah. Okay, considered that there's difficulties, but definitely that they're no braver, no more special than you or I are. And we all have our different struggles, or maybe this is your struggle and you get through it, and where you might not like people turning around and going saying, "Oh my God, Andrew, you're so special. Look at what you've come through. You know, you've done this, this, and the other." You might just want to be accepted for you're just the same. Okay, you struggled, but so has everybody else.
It would be nice, I suppose.
Yeah. You know, there's two sides. Sometimes we like to recognize our own struggles ourselves, and we should, and almost pat ourselves on the back and say, "You've been through a lot." Or maybe it's been more compassionate to ourselves that we should be, and accepting that to put a body or a person through certain things can be so traumatic and so difficult, and to, you know, acknowledge that and be compassionate about that. But that's what we need, rather than being proud. We should be proud of ourselves, but it's compassion, I think, that we need for ourselves and our body. We push it, don't we, through so much. We push our minds through so much. Where
it feels like it.
Yeah.
Because I always kind of feel like I'm kind of demanding, and I kind of should really be like accepting myself where I am now.
Yeah. And that's been compassionate, self-compassion, and that is so important above everything else. You know, if you equate some of the things, if we ran a marathon every day, we'd be so kind to our feet and our knees, and we'd be buying really special runners, and we'd be so caring. And people would look in awe if you even ran one a week. Never mind a day, it's impossible. But if you were running marathons, you know, every week, every fortnight, people would be so in awe of us, and we'd be so compassionate. We'd be caring for our feet and looking after ourselves, wouldn't we? Our joints and our diet and everything.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. So that's a visible endurance almost, isn't it? It's a visible thing you can see. But yet we push our minds and our bodies through other things that other people don't see, or they're not aware of. And we don't have the pains and aches to go with it that are visible. But we do have other pains and aches. And yet we show ourselves very little compassion sometimes.
Yes, that's kind of quite common.
Or caring. Yeah, it is. And that's where we forget. And maybe the caring that you're giving it now, that by, you know, pushing yourself, going to the board game club, is almost like buying yourself a really fancy pair of sneakers that has lots of support and is secure. So that's the type of thing that we should be showing ourselves more often, and how important that sort of stuff is. So it's now you're only starting to kind of look after yourself like you would if you were running a marathon.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of conscious a bit of that. I haven't really been at work for 5 weeks, but they did tell me, that it was the case. I guess I don't have to.
Yeah, 5 weeks. Yeah. And is it worrying you a lot that it's been 5 weeks since without work?
Yeah, like a little bit. I think I kind of started having difficulties with my sleep again. So I don't know.
Okay.
Is it that the antidepressants kind of stopped working a little bit, or is it just like the anxiety that
It's
I have?
probably, I know the SSRIs at the beginning, they make you very tired until your body kind of grows accustomed to it. And sleep then becomes normal. So now you've gone back into your not sleeping pattern. Are you taking melatonin?
No, I've run out of it.
You ran out of that. Okay. And would you buy that online, or can you get that on prescription?
I guess I could, like, if I asked.
Yeah.
I have to kind of organize some next appointment quite soon, like this week or next week.
Yeah. Okay. I would, if you have to ring the GP, ask them for a prescription. I know if you have to buy it online, it's going to take a few days. I honestly, I don't know what it costs to get it through prescription here. I
Well,
honestly don't.
I'll have to order my next injection like for
Mm,
testosterone.
mm,
It
mhm,
actually costs like 200 euros. So I have
mhm.
a drugs payment scheme card, so that
Ah,
will like everything on this month will just cost me 80. So that
yeah.
that's
Okay.
43
Okay.
plus all of it.
Okay. Okay. That's a bit ridiculous that you actually still have to pay for testosterone injections. Um, I don't agree with that. Uh, I think that type of thing should be covered by the HSE. Um,
Yeah, that's actually quite expensive if you think about
mm,
it. 200
yeah,
euro.
it is.
It's good
Yeah,
if I have that
very.
scheme.
Yeah, yeah. You wouldn't think of applying for the medical card now that you're out of work for the moment, no?
I don't really know if I would be eligible for it.
I think once you're on any kind of a social welfare scheme payment, there's a good chance that you might, and you would get it for the year. Or is it more? I think it could be 3 years. You're awarded it. Sometimes they'll award it for 3. I've known people who are awarded it for 5. Um, and if that was to cover your testosterone and you didn't have to pay for medication, even the
It could be worth
€80.
it.
Yeah. So I think you can do that online on the MyGov site.
Yeah, I know, it's so annoying. Like,
It,
it still has like my old name and there is no option to change it. So I sent them an
really?
email. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Do.
and they told me that I actually had to have like either an active medical card or the drug payment scheme card so that they could change it. But just ridiculous that I have to have something just in order for them to change it. Just because I couldn't register it, with my new email
Your new name. Yeah.
because once I've entered my PPS number, they told
Yeah.
me that they
Yeah.
already have
Yeah.
something in the
Okay.
database. That's just ridiculous.
So you have to have a card to prove that you're now Andrew Donnelly.
Yeah, well, I sent them an email, so I'll see
Yeah.
how long it'll
Yeah.
take.
It shouldn't take long. It should not take long. I know mine was done when I reverted to my pre-marriage name. They did it very quickly, but I do remember that hassle of going, oh my God, my PPS number is all they need. They really shouldn't need, that connects everything. So why on earth do they, you can call yourself what you want, really.
Yeah, that's true.
And
And,
it is,
and now it says like on my account, it says like my old name, and then that I have a drug payment scheme card in my new name. That just doesn't
that's
make
crazy.
sense.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. But when that comes through, I would apply for medical card and see if that can help you financially. Especially if you're going to be out for, the 20th of March is only, it's the 6th, it's only a couple of weeks away.
Yeah, so it's not that long.
Not that long.
But
And how are you feeling about that returning to work the 20th of March? How do you think?
Yes, I'm feeling quite anxious about it, but I guess I just kind of have to kind of go back. I'll see how my focus will be because
Yeah.
it's still not really that great.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. And it's at the 20th of March, it's 2 weeks down the road. So you've got 14 days of more recovery to do. So I suppose there's no need to think about it until it's probably a Monday, is it? There's no need to think about it until
Yeah, it is Monday.
closer. Yeah. So I suppose maybe the week before, start considering it. Chat maybe with your GP. If you have to make an appointment, maybe that's when you should have the next appointment. Is that too late for your testosterone injection to make an appointment for just before the 20th?
But that's like kind of a difficult week because it's a short week if it's St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, it's St. Patrick's Day, of course. Okay, so you need to.
So that's why I was thinking about scheduling it for this week so that I could
Yeah,
just
get it done. Yeah. Okay. You reminded me of St. Patrick's Day, and so I can block my calendar off, or I'll be working. Okay, so you're a bit anxious about going back, but That's now. Wait and
Yeah.
see. Wait and see. Don't cause yourself more anxious now about something that's happening in 2 weeks' time. You know,
Yeah,
the,
that's true. Because I
yeah,
still have more
yeah.
things to before
So
bed.
your sleep is fairly disrupted still.
Yeah, well, it started being disrupted now.
Mm-hmm. And
Uh,
what do you call disruptive? Tell me, what way are you sleeping?
well, let's say like I fall asleep. Well, it's not really regular. Like sometimes at 10 o'clock, sometimes at 11, and when I
Yeah.
wake up like in the middle of the night, so I just
Mm-hmm.
I put on like a podcast on Spotify.
Yeah.
It's called like Sleepiness. So they have
Yeah.
different like stories, like bedtime stories. So I
Mm-hmm.
just let it play and go
Yeah.
back. So
And how long would it take you to get back into some sort of a sleep?
well, it's very difficult to say.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
Okay. So
no.
yeah. But would you find yourself tossing and turning for an hour and a half, two, or would you just within the half hour or so would you fall back?
Probably within a half hour. I guess it's still not that bad as it used to be.
No. No, that's not so bad. If you can even keep it at that, that's good. But try not stress about the lack of sleep at the moment because you
Yeah,
still
because it doesn't really matter.
it doesn't matter. You're still not having to get up for work in the morning. Even though the best thing to do is to still get up at some sort of a relatively early hour. Don't be sleeping till 11 midday, or
Oh, okay. Well,
you're going too close.
I kind of noticed that I kind of wake up around 7 o'clock.
Okay.
But when it's really difficult to actually get out of bed. So
Yeah.
it takes
Okay.
me another hour probably.
Another hour. That's okay. That's okay. Once you can keep it at a kind of normal morning time to suit your sleep rhythm, your day rhythm. So, your body stays in that kind of a clock, in that mode. If you start sleeping too late, 11, 12 midday, getting up, then you'll push your nighttime sleep out too far.
It never actually happens.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that's not so bad. But the melatonin definitely might help.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah. So you just see if you can get that again, as I said, from the GP or order it. What about your diet, Andrew? What's that like? How's it going? Is it still buy pre-cooked, or are you managing? It's
well,
easier to buy pre-cooked.
yeah, I find
Mm,
it easier to
mm,
just get
mm-hmm,
something that's pre-cooked, and then
mm.
I don't really have to do too
To
much.
think. Yeah, yeah. And when you say pre-cooked, I know there's lots of really nutritious meals that are pre-cooked, and SuperValu do a good range of it. Where there's decent meals, or even Lidl or Aldi, I'm sure, do them now. Or are you eating healthy, so you're getting the correct vitamins to feed your brain, to feed your body?
Well, I hope that I do.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
God, I started just eating carrots as snacks because I like them even. Like,
Yeah. Okay. So that's good. That's good. So once you're getting a relatively healthy diet, there's nothing wrong with some of the pre-cooked meals. In fact, they're probably better than buying, chips or wedges and fried food. Something that's easy, but it's frozen again. So if you can stick to as healthy as you can, so that you're getting the vitamins that your brain needs to recover, that's important. So you're feeling like a little bit brighter, would I say? A little bit better?
yeah, probably, I guess so. And
Yeah.
that's what my friend Fergus told me, that he thought
Mm.
that I looked much better and
Yeah.
was a
Yeah.
bit better than the last time like he saw
Yeah.
me like
Yeah.
a few
Okay.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
But
And
it's very difficult to notice things myself.
yeah,
But I guess
it's
uh, given that I couldn't do like anything about the
yeah.
house, and I was able to tidy it,
Yeah.
and I was able to get out like almost
Yeah.
every day, so that
Yeah.
makes
It makes a difference when you look at it that way, when you step back a little bit. And some of it you can attribute to the SSRIs, but they're not magic pills. They don't do it all.
It's actually like an atypical antidepressant. It's
Mm.
not an SSRI.
No, it's not major. It's nothing. it's not a super strength one or anything. And they don't do everything. A lot of it is left up to the person themselves. They just kind of bring you above baseline so that you have the motivation to improve things yourself. And this is what you're seeing here. So just remember that it is 75% you that's doing this.
Yeah, that's kind of
Yeah.
a lot. Like
Yeah.
quarters.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, 3/4 of it is you. And the 25 has just brought you up to the level where you can push yourself and motivate yourself and feel like that you want to do something.
But still a lot.
Yeah.
So I feel
Yeah,
like
it
doing
is.
much.
Yeah, yeah, it is a lot. So you are. How often are you getting out in the week? Like this is Monday. So how often do you see people in the week?
Let's say, well, last week I met with, well, I met with someone like with that lady for the board gaming club on Wednesday, and then
Yeah.
on Friday I met with my friend Ferguson. On Saturday I went with my friend Trevor, and then yesterday I went for a walk like in a local park, so that makes it
Yeah.
4 times.
Wow, that's pretty good. If you can keep that up. Is the board game, is that a
Wednesday, like
it's a Wednesday, so do you think you'll manage to go again?
I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not challenging. And when I don't know if you could count that, like I went to that like social welfare, like the interest center, and then I had my second booster on Thursday, but that's not really an encounter.
Doesn't matter. It's getting out. It's you're going somewhere, you're sticking to, you're walking, you're going, or you're cycling, or you're whatever, you have to get there. So it's motivating.
Yeah, because I wanted to get that second booster for a while, but then I didn't really want to go to KK. They didn't have anything here, and then I checked it on Wednesday, and somehow they started to like vaccinating people here, so I just booked that appointment.
Okay.
Got it.
All right. Okay, and that's the COVID.
Yeah.
COVID. It's the second one, or is this the third shot they're giving out now?
Well, it's the 4th for me, so like
fourth. Okay.
So that's kind of a second booster.
Yeah, but it's the motivation that you boosted yourself. You pulled it up from somewhere, and you went, and it doesn't matter what you were doing, but that's an improvement. Another, a couple of weeks ago, you would have been too stressed, too anxious to leave, and maybe just given up on the idea completely. So, that is positive. Any interaction, any kind of motivation, that anything to do anything at all, whether it's just to walk to as far as the local shop for a carton of juice or milk or whatever.
So do you think just like going to a shop would be?
Yeah, absolutely. The way you're getting out, you're seeing people, life is still going on normally around you.
Yeah, I found that as well. I found that just being on a train or on a bus makes me feel a little bit better. Yeah, because it makes us feel part of normality, part of, that life is still moving around you. When you're in the flat or in the house all day, anything could be happening outside, but you're stuck in your head, So it is important to get out, even a walk through a park, to watch other people having fun. It all impacts on how we feel mentally. To hear people talking in a good humor, to hear other people laughing, to hear children playing and laughing, or dogs, to see dogs, to see animals, particularly if you're an animal person. When you see them, there's chemical reactions that happen in our body, and we don't even recognize, and it puts us in good humor. That's really great. Because I went to Waterford on Thursday, but just on my own, so I didn't count it as a...
You didn't count. No, it does count. It does. I mean, the fact, that's even more important, Andrew, because you're actually doing that without the support of somebody. There will be people who wouldn't be able to unless somebody had their elbow to bring them out. So you're still able to do it independently. So that's really good. That's a really positive sign. So keep hold of that. If you stop doing that, stop using it and we lose it. So keep hold of that independent streak that you have, that you do things on your own. You go on trips on your own.
Most of the time.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I usually don't have anyone to accompany me.
yeah. And do you enjoy that time on your own?
Well, not always. Yeah.
Not always. Okay.
I mean, it could be a bit difficult, and like
Mm-hmm.
in Waterford, I think I went for a meal, and then I walked for a little bit, and then went back to the train station. But still, like, I mean, it was just good to get out of the
Yeah,
house, get out of
yeah,
routine, and
yeah.
like I have that student ID now, so I
Mm-hmm.
just get those student tickets.
Student tickets.
So it's
Perfect.
only
Yeah.
like 40 for
It's
euro
only
one way.
excellent. Excellent. So when you're out, I know you can focus on the fact that you're on your own or you see something gorgeous and you've nobody there to share it with. But try and pick positives out of going on your own. That you, first of all, I suppose that you are getting up and you're motivated. And that's the biggest positive out of this, that you're still, even though you're not feeling great, you are still grabbing that motivation. You're getting fresh air, daylight, sunlight, hopefully, and you're mixing, there's people around you. So this is all, you're feeding your mental health here. Whether you're really thinking, oh, I wish I had somebody with me or not, but all of these other things are like medicine for your mental health. And then the fact that, pick the scenery is beautiful, or Wexford is gorgeous, or, I don't know, were you near the ocean, that the sea is beautiful, that type.
Just very well.
Yeah. So try pick 3 or 4 positives. And it's very easy to get the first ones because the motivation, yeah, pat on your back. You've done that. That's good. The daylight, the sunlight, and the people around you, the noise that's around you. And then pick one other thing that you can see positive for yourself, that you're actually enjoying about it. Not that you're feeding your mental health. So is it the scenery? Is it the meal that you had? Is it that you don't have to make conversation?
Yeah,
You can be
that
quiet.
could be,
Yeah,
that could be positive.
Yeah.
Well,
So
they have like interesting street art where like over
yeah,
different things
they
that
do.
I could look at.
Mhm. And treat yourself. Make sure you have your dessert or your ice cream or whatever it is. Make sure that there's something special. You're not just going because that it's good for your mental health. So I have to force myself. Make it an enjoyable experience for you.
Yeah, and you see, it wasn't really too long. It only was like 2.5 hours because I figured that I didn't really want to go for
Yeah.
longer.
Or that's fine. That's perfect.
Because I also had to take the train like for 1 hour.
Okay,
back and
so
forth.
back and forth. Yeah, so that was a good day. That's a long enough day. Plus, you're making yourself tired. You're using energy, so you're more likely you want to relax when you come home. So it's okay to sit at home. It's okay to watch TV, and you don't necessarily have to have anybody in your ear talking. It's okay to relax. Sometimes I think we can be hard on ourselves if we haven't done enough during the day, and we find ourselves still sitting in front of the TV at night. You
Yeah,
can say, "Oh my God, here we go."
It's actually quite difficult to watch it because
To watch TV.
I'm not really enjoying it that much.
You don't. Okay.
I'm trying to watch like all, just as you told me before, just the things that I used to enjoy.
Yeah. Movies that you like. So when you're watching the TV, what happens? Is it your concentration goes, or is it that
Yes,
what
it's
happens?
usually goes
Okay.
away, and when I start like, well, I just open my phone and start scrolling, and that's
Yeah.
not really
Yeah.
great. Is it?
No, it's not, because that's that fast, reward system that we're feeding. So it's not so good. But look, we're all guilty of that. Trying to do 2 things at once. Then you're trying to watch TV and you're trying to focus on your phone. So it's not surprising that we can't focus or concentrate on either thing. But once you're pushing yourself to do these things, and you continue to push yourself, it's better than going back to bed just to sleep.
Yeah, I guess
That
it is
yeah,
much better.
yeah, much better, much better. That's more important than anything, is that you're not sleeping, your whole day. They're the dangerous signs. So what about suicidal thoughts, Andrew, or self-harm? Have you had any of those recently?
No, I think I didn't
Okay, okay,
for a while.
that's good. I know at the beginning of when you weren't feeling too well some weeks ago, you were saying that even to look after your cats was a difficulty.
Yeah,
And how is that? That's that was a big sign, because your cats are so precious to you. Your animals are so precious. How are you doing with them now?
yeah. Actually, I started to uh, look after them maybe a little bit better than
A little bit
before,
better. Okay,
because I
okay.
couldn't even bring myself to to open a pouch of pet food.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
so only fed them like dry food for a while,
yeah.
and
For a while. Okay, okay.
and
And now you're looking. There's more feeling towards them, is it?
yeah, a little bit more like more
Okay,
compassion.
okay, okay. And are they the type of cats that would come towards you, Andrew, for, to be petted or for contact, or are they very independent?
James does like
Yeah, okay. And
likes
how
being around people,
he
and
likes being around?
another cat, Jason. He likes to watch TV, so he
Yeah,
he's there like on the couch with me sometimes.
okay, okay. So there's contact. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because that's important. Animals, I really believe, they've either a calming influence or um, even guilting you and meowing in your face looking for food. There's enough, yeah, feed me. Never mind how you're feeling. Just get up and feed me. Even that pressure, I do think that animals can work wonders. And it's always it's a guideline almost. It's like sleep. If you're spending all day in bed, or are you not looking after your animals? Their benchmarks or guidelines as to how low you're feeling.
yeah. I never actually thought of it. I
Mm,
guess
yeah,
that's true.
so just watch it. And if you feel, that either of them are dipping a little bit, well, that's the moment that you say, okay, I'm going to go for a walk. I don't care if it's only down as far as the corner. I'm going to walk fast, and I'll get down there and I'll come back. And that's something. And if I have to do it a couple of times a day, just to not allow the dipping feeling to overpower you. So it's about, there is a responsibility in us to keep that at bay, and it is possible. And how you do that is by pushing yourself. Either go watch TV, pick up the animal, play with it. You probably have cat toys. Go for a walk. Yeah, so push yourself to do something that you really don't feel like doing, but is going to be good for you.
Yeah, actually, I started going out for walks again.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah. And keep in mind that we're heading towards the summer. The weather improves, our humor improves, we're getting more daylight, so nature will have a little bit of an influence on you also.
oh yeah, that's true. So it
Yeah,
will be much better soon.
you will. It will be much better soon. Let's get through St. Patrick's Day, and the weather always improves.
But that's because we're gonna switch our time, so it's
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
things
Okay,
change. Yeah.
no problem, Andrew. Look, have a good day. You're doing really well. It's good to see you that little bit more positive. And your friend is right. You even look brighter. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next
We
time.
talk to you next time. Happy birthday. I probably won't. Will I see you before then?
It'll depends on my
On.
appointment. I'll see
Okay.
what day I can get it.
Okay. Okay. Look, have a good day, Andrew. Okay. Talk to you soon. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye.